And Talkin Fight fans, thank you for joining us for another exciting episode of the Olympic preview, the Olympic special, the Olympic episode, all about the Olympics, Tokyo, July 2021. What do you got for us, Christian?
As you know, we were talking a little bit about some actual fighters. We've been spending a lot of time dealing with, is this event going to take place? If it's going to take place, how is it going to take place? Where is it going to take place? As venues and things like that, qualifiers have all been cast to the wind at this point in time. So I thought it might be fun to actually take a look at a boxer today for a change, as we actually have a few more things to cover about the tournament in general. We haven't gone over things like the actual layout of the tournament once it is taking place, how that's actually going to break down, and we'll cover that in a later episode. Just to break things up, though, I thought we'd actually discuss a boxer. You and I were talking a little while ago about just some of our past Olympic runs, as well as some of the fighters that were involved. So I had a bit of a look this morning. I was thinking to myself, obviously we haven't had the America's qualifier yet. We're still looking to figure out where and when that's going to happen. It's got to happen soon, though. We're hoping for May on that one. Who is going to be fighting in that America's qualifier from Canada, who fought at Rio? So I was looking to see who was looking to make a repeat appearance from our last games from the Canadian side. And it looks like we actually only have one boxer who was at Rio, who's going to be vying to get back into Tokyo this year. And that's Mandy Bujold. So she, again, fought at Rio. So I thought we'd take a quick look at her today. Just a bit of a brief overview and, a bit of a biography on her, and we'll see, and we'll go from there. So Mandy, sorry about that. Mandy's fighting out of Destiny Boxing Club, and she's coached by Sid Vanderpool. Born July 25th, 1987 in Cobourg, Ontario, although I believe she's calling Kitchener hometown, Ontario, again, for those of you watching outside of the area, home these days. She comes in at 160 centimeters, or 5'2" if you're watching this south of the border, and fights in the 51 kilogram category with an orthodox stance. So working backwards a little bit here, some of the career highlights thus far was the 2020 Box Guy Memorial Tournament, where she took bronze. In 2019, the Canadian qualifier winner for her weight class. In 2019, the International Balkan Tournament silver medalist. Back in 2017, she was at the Continental Championships. She also took silver as well. Rio, which we'll talk a little bit more about in a moment there. She came in the top 5 during the Rio Olympics. Also in 2016, the Continental Championship, she took gold. Both in 2011 and 2015, she took gold in the Pan American Games. 2014, she took a bronze from the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. So she's had a very active career, and we're looking to move forward on that. But beginning, her interest in boxing started when she lived in Moncton, out east. Her parents had bought a punching bag and 2 sets of boxing gloves in hopes that her brothers would hit each other or hit the bag instead of each other. Mandy decided to give it a try herself, though, and just mostly out of curiosity, and rapidly began to enjoy boxing. When the family later moved to Kitchener, Ontario, she followed her brothers in joining the local boxing club as a way to get in shape. Boxing quickly became a passion for her. Her actual Olympic dream, though, began after she won her junior national title in 2006. That result gave her the drive to be the best and to make that national team. 1 year later, she was an elite national champion and also won the American Continental Championships, her first of 3 victories in that event. Mandy made her debut at the International Boxing Association's Women's World Championship in 2008 and has competed in each edition of that global competition since, recording her best results in 2014 when she finished in the top 8 after a quarterfinal loss to the eventual silver medalist Lisa Whiteside, fighting from England. Mandy's career highlight thus far, though, is winning gold at the 2011 Pan American Games. It was the first time women's boxing had been included in a multi-sport competition. She also earned another multi-sport medal in 2014 when she won bronze at the Commonwealth Games in Glasgow. Now a 9-time national champion, Mandy successfully defended her Pan American title in Toronto at the 2015 Games, defeating the world number 1 at the time, Marlene Esparza, in the final. Mandy went on to earn her Olympic berth with a gold at the American Continental Qualifier that took place in Buenos Aires, Argentina, March 2016. And at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, she finished in the top 5 suffering a loss in the quarterfinals of that games. Beyond her career as an athlete, Mandy has also been recognized by the Waterloo region as a woman of influence and named the Kitchener-Waterloo Citizen of the Year for her outstanding contribution to her community. In 2018, Mandy brought her passion for community and boxing together as she founded a white-collar charity boxing event called Champions for Charity. She is also mom to Kate Olympia, or KO. A couple of fun facts. Her favorite motto is, if you can see it, you can create it. If you can feel it, you can perform it. If you can imagine it, then you can achieve it. Favorite TV shows include The Mindy Project and Girl Fight. If you see her with her headphones in, it's probably R&B she's listening to. Getting ready for a bout, her pre-bout meal is typically oatmeal and rice crackers with peanut butter, getting that protein in. Other hobbies, running, hiking, things of that nature, and is hoping in her lifetime to visit French Polynesia. Probably my favorite fun fact, though, as we mentioned the 2011 Commonwealth Games there, she actually boxed in the very first fight ever to take place at a major games. So the first women's fight that ever took place at a multi-sport event, she was in that bout and went on to win gold at that Pan Am Games. So that was probably my favorite one. So she gets to go down in the history books as being one of the first to step into the ring in that situation. So, hats off to her. Again, had a great run in Rio, didn't make it all the way to the podium, but we have high hopes for Mandy in 2021 at this point. I'm not sure. Are we calling it 2020 still? Is it still Tokyo 2020? Is it 2021?
You are. I'm calling it 2021.
I don't know. All the official logos still have there was a great logo for it. It wrote itself.
I'm sure for another 30 million, the ad agency will come up with a 2021 logo.
I don't doubt it.
Yeah, of course.
So Mandy's our only fighter who qualified for Rio and is vying for a spot at Tokyo. So
cool. So we've had our qualifiers. Is that what you're saying?
No, we haven't. So she's vying. She's the only one who's currently on our national team. The national team obviously being made up of far more fighters than are actually going to be able to take part in the Olympics, as each country is only able to put forward one person for each weight class. So you still have to qualify. So if you get knocked out in that round of 16 at your qualifier, we may not have a fighter fighting in a specific weight class. Depends on the year how many fighters we send.
Alrighty. So that wraps up Mandy Bujold, who we have, we not only featured her, but we've also featured Sid Vanderpool as well.
Mm-hmm. So I thought he would, I mentioned that he was involved in this as well. And we're going to be running, little biographies and spots on each of the Canadian fighters, obviously, and as well as some of the better known names around the sport as more of these qualifiers take place. And once we start to see what the Olympic card's actually going to look like. At this point, we have dates, we have locations for each bout. We just don't know who's going to be fighting them.
Right. I do know, and Andrew Toth is going to be calling me from Budapest because he'd contacted us with respect to the British team fighting over in a tournament in Hungary. And he's going to be joining us then tomorrow on our episode of the Olympics to let us know what not only the British, but also the Hungarians are doing to warm up their athletes for the Olympics. So even though we may or may not have athletes lined up to fight in qualifiers, there are other countries we're going full steam ahead.
Well, again, the Europeans won't actually have their qualifiers done yet because that was the tournament that was canceled on day 4. So we're still waiting on phase 2 of that one. Yeah,
all I'm saying is there are countries going full steam ahead as if they will make the qualifiers and they will be submitting teams.
Oh, I'm glad to hear that. I'm sure the Canadians are as well at this point in time, training like mad. Any chance they can get as safely as they can do as well.
Yeah, so I'm looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to chatting with Andrew. I haven't seen Andrew in ages.
Yeah, it'd be good. So he'll be joining us tomorrow on our show, and I just thought I'd let you know I've got a call with him. I think via Skype. It's as old school as that is, but via Skype. So we'll find out what the Hungarians are up to, and in particular, take a little spy look at the British and what the British team is up to.
Sounds great.
Thanks very much for your report. Appreciate it. And for all you people out there, like, share, subscribe. And if you hit that subscribe button, remember to ring the bell to get those notifications.